feminism. Women fought for the rights to do all these wonderful, amazing things like men. Did they? Did they really?
What does International Women's Year mean to you?
I don't know, it doesn't worry me. It don't have any effect, I don't sort of think about it. Do you?
I
don't take interest in women's lib. It doesn't worry me at all. I don't like it.
Why don't
Oh, you gotta love Australia. So different, isn't it? There's no embarrassment or fear from these women by saying, yeah, I don't care about women's liberation. This is from 1976, these street interviews. A lot of people don't realize that feminism was not popular. Like among the masses, the women in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, only like 10% or 20% actually identified as feminists. The rest just ignored them. Like they were completely indifferent to the whole thing or just saw them as like whingers.
It's so crazy now that it's like pretty much 90%, almost 100% of women that are feminists in a sense. Well, not 100%, 80-ish.
Feminism may have started all those decades ago, but it didn't really achieve true victory until kind of like the late 90s. It took decades and decades for the feminists to shame all the other women into actually swallowing this nonsense.
Yeah, I've noticed from the late 90s on, because I came to this country in 92. So I was 5. So by the time 2000s hit, I was 13, 14. I was old enough to see the changes from men and women from then too.
don't you like it?
I'd rather be the way I am. I like to be under my husband's thumb.
Like the softness of women literally went out the window since the 90s.
I'd rather be the way that I am. I like being under my husband's thumb. It's extraordinary, isn't it? Don't you dare suggest that men and women have a natural reciprocity. Don't you even think that, you misogynist. I'm pretty sure that the ideology of feminism, which has existed for 50 years, knows a little bit better than millions of years of evolution.
I reckon the man should wear the pants, He should sort of be the boss in the family, Sort of. Well, I'd rather him go out to work and earn the money than me go out and earn the money and look after the kids, but...
They're just speaking the truth, right? It's just like, yeah, I'd rather not work. Working's hard. Working is grueling. Like, I have to work for a boss that tells me shit every day. My husband tells me stuff, but he loves me.
Oh, I sort of just don't believe in it.
What does
This is so addictive. I will never get tired of listening to women speak common sense. This woman clearly knows that she's onto a good deal. She doesn't want to change that. She's there holding her beautiful baby and she's thinking, I'm sorry, why would I rather go into work and be belittled by some boss than stay home with this beautiful miracle of life that I created?
And hang out with my friend next to me?
Sort of just don't believe in it.
What does International Women's Year mean to you?
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
Has women's liberation affected your life at all?
No. I don't believe in it.
Why not?
I don't know. I've got no opinions on it.
Have you resisted it?
See, I like this. Women were so much more reserved with their opinions back in the day.
No.
Have you ever read anything about women's liberation?
No.
That is so good. When she says, have you resisted it? This woman's like, nope. Because you know what's more effective than arguing against something is just refusing to engage with it. Like it's just beneath your attention. She's like, no, I don't care enough to hate you or even resist you. This women's liberation thing is not even worth thinking about. And you can hear the subtle shaming from this reporter lady, like this attempt to influence her, to try and force her into like socially conforming, like, hey, we're women, you should be for women, right? This old lady's just like, no, sorry, not interested.
What does International Women's Year mean to you?
I'm afraid not very much, really. I'm a bit old to be worried,
Do you ever think about women's liberation?
I don't, to tell you the honest truth, no.
It just occurred to me that if feminist theory was correct, then it would make sense that the older women who have lived through more experiences with men and were alive during the genuine patriarchy, they should be the most feminist, right? Like they should be the most extreme in their feminism because they've suffered under men more than anybody. But these old ladies, they're like, no, it's fine. I don't need women's liberation. I don't think about it. What does that tell you when feminism is taken up, as a cause by the youngest demographics of women who've barely...
Propaganda really worked. It kind of reminds me of like communist countries, how communist countries kind of eliminate the population, and as the new population comes up, you just control them through your own education system, right? And I feel like that's what happened with feminism. As women were growing up, there was a special education system for women, and now they're all feminists without ever even experiencing any bad that they speak of constantly.
Barely out of high school, and they're like, men have been repressing me so much. There's old ladies who lived through way less progressive times, have had way more experiences with men, and they're like, no, it's fine. Like, we're comfortable with this arrangement. It casts the complaints of these younger women in a very different light, don't you think? Like, what do you have to be complaining about? You haven't been alive for long enough to be a victim of anything that serious. Just chill the fuck out.
What do you think of those women like Jermaine?
They've never experienced the woes, but they vividly talk about it as if women were just getting slapped left and right for being married to men.
Greer, who want
Or
to
if they
change?
want to do their own thing, let them do it. That's what I say.
You don't feel a need for a change in your way of life at all?
No, quite happy.
This is where Australians get their live and let live reputation for, like, yeah, do whatever. Life in my country was just so good. No one wanted to be creating problems.
Do you think women's liberation is a bad thing?
Oh, I don't know. I don't understand it much.
I'm inclined to think they can overdo all these things, really, don't you?
In what areas? What about equal job opportunity and equal pay and that sort of issue?
Yes, no, I don't quite go with it. I'm afraid I'm old-fashioned, really. I think the man is the important one, with jobs and the pay and that sort of thing, don't you? Really?
Let's just talk about
The man's the important one. My grandma's. Shout outs to you ladies.
this gender pay gap, because the notion that men and women were paid less even back then for doing an identical job has been massively overstated. Like, yes, men across the board as a collective made a lot more than women. That part is true, but the difference between them shrank massively when they were doing the identical job. But feminist theory, it gets really upset whenever you start looking at the nuance of it. They just want to present the difference as the result of gender-based discrimination. But what they never acknowledge is the fact that married men significantly out-earn single women and single men. But no one claims there's discrimination against single men. Gender would have nothing to do with that. That undermines their argument. So they always hide that data. They don't like what that reveals. But historically, it makes sense that married men make more because wages have always tracked social roles. In this instance, the social...
True. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, wages, you had to have a family and kids sometimes to get certain promotions back in the day.
role of the breadwinner. I found this data
Oh,
when I
you're
was
talking about that.
researching
Oh, my bad. I went totally the wrong direction.
a different video for my main channel, but I want to bring it up here because it demonstrates what I'm talking about. So you see there at age 40, single men and single women are basically making the same. The one outlier, like that pale green line, the dotted line at the top, that's married men. But you see then that it's marriage, it's being a breadwinner that differentiates people. It's not gender. I mean, why could that possibly be? What a mystery. It's almost as if being responsible for providing for others, being a husband, being
Have
a
to
father,
make more money?
somehow that brings out the best in men. That causes them to work harder. It creates ambition and drive, all that sense of responsibility. Their love for their family pushes them to advance in their career. It's such an obvious and simple, straightforward explanation. But no, let's listen to feminists. Men are just crazy patriarchs. We've got toxic masculinity and we just love discriminating against women. We just
Shit, it just oozes out of me, this toxicity.
always looking for opportunities to pay women less. That's the more logical explanation.
I think possibly I'm like a lot of women and depend a lot on a husband, on the male race, I guess.
And I consider a liberated woman is a woman who does what she wants to do, thinks for herself, lives as she wishes, and is not dominated by male thinking. Also, particularly, of course, a woman in industry earning as much as a man.
But do you think women's liberation is a good thing?
I'm very sceptical about some of the extremes it's carried to. I think women are in great danger of being dominated by women, being told to liberate themselves by doing.
Ooh. Someone figured it out.
In what other women want them to do. That to me is a great danger in the whole scheme.
Will you be doing
What she just said there, that's
Damn.
kind of like the whole premise of my channel in a nutshell. It reminds me of the theory of intersexual competition by Dr. Danny Sulakowski. I did a video explaining that theory on my main channel. I'll put a link down below if you haven't seen that yet, or just look her up on YouTube, Dr. Danny Sulakowski. She's done a bunch of interviews. She's great. And what she's pointing to is what this woman was just referring to, women like bullying other women getting dominated by other women. Because really, you know, why would you give your power as a woman over to other women? What makes you think that those women have your best interests at heart? They are
True.
your competition.
They're your competition.
You don't think they're going to lie to you, try and fill your head with a bunch of nonsense so they can gain a strategic advantage? And it's not a case of swapping out one system of abuse for the other. Like women were either going to be abused by the patriarchy or by feminism. That's the wrong framing, because the patriarchy wasn't about abusing women. It was a system designed to protect women, to provide for them. That's what honor and chivalry were all about. It was for women's comfort. It turns out that women are thoroughly incapable of liberating other women. It's men and masculinity that can do it. The right man can liberate a woman. He can liberate her femininity. That's what this channel is all about. We hate feminism, but we love femininity.
anything to participate in International Women's Year?
Not particularly. Because,
Sorry, have you just noticed that all of these women, they're all holding back laughter when asked these questions? They're all stifling a giggle. They think this whole thing is a joke. Why did we take it so seriously?
I think that, in a way, there's too much made of it, that it should be just accepted as it is. Women are becoming far too dominant, so they're going to end up being women chauvinists.
Women
Chauvinists
chauvinists is exactly
exactly
right.
what it is.
Oh, it's so refreshing to hear all these women. What the hell happened to us? You know, all of these women, even like these like new mothers and these sweet old ladies, they would all be labeled as like far right, reactionary extremists by today's standards. That's the real victory of feminism, is that it has managed to frame itself as though it's the center, it's the norm, instead of the radical departure from common sense that it actually is. I always just think, like, when I read your guys' comments in the comments section, you know, when you're detailing some of the stuff you've had to be dealing with in your dates or in your relationships, what it would have been like if you'd gone back in time and you could have dated like these kinds of women.
Damn, Alex. It would have been wonderful to experience women like this.
And how different an experience that would have been. So easy and straightforward. Women who enjoy being feminine. We need a time machine.